about to get it in. Let's do this. LeIllKid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year. Come on with another wonderful episode of On Screen. We are chilling, having a great time. Big shout out to everyone who's coming through live right now. Big shout out to everybody coming through on the replay. Great to see y'all sunshiny faces. I want to give a shout out to all my Patreon supporters. Much love to y'all. Big shout out to everyone who came out yesterday for the reviews for Busta Rhymes and Common's new albums. It's been a very busy, hectic week, but we are going to push through. We got tons of stuff to do. Tomorrow we have lounging coming up. We have Black Together or Walk in Her Shoes coming up with part 2 of Cause I'm Grown. We got, we're going to be on Blurred Over's channel on Instagram. So check out Blurred Over on Instagram. IG is dope. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm very interested to see what goes on tomorrow because I have no idea what questions I'll be asked. Then we got Mandalorian tomorrow too. So don't sleep. And shouts out to NRAM in the house. Nice to see yo sunshiny face up in here. So first up on the docket, NRAM says in the chat, so the other Discovery live chat I watched moved to the same time like yours, so I'm going back and forth. Oh, it's all good, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I understand. Schedules is crazy. You can't watch everything at the same time, so it's understandable. You just got to do what you got to do. So let's get things set off. No, matter of fact, maybe we should keep it trill on this episode. We're going to keep it triller, if they say. And I'm going to keep it trill with you. This right here, nah, y'all can't have that. You can't have that. I know you keeping the hands open. Nah, you can't have that. That's over now, all right? That's the Wakanda salute. Please move on to some other formal greeting that you may have. But at this moment, that's Wakanda. I don't care if your hands are open, closed, a little rested, whatever it may be. You can't have it, all right? So I'm just restarting that off top. Don't be taking Wakanda salutes and trying to go intergalactic with it, all right? Because we already have an intergalactic empire of Wakanda anyway, so we ain't trying to hear it, all right? So just throw that out the window. We're not having it. I don't want to hear it. I want it stopped. To all the trill people out there that's doing their thing, I got love for y'all, but y'all cannot ever use the Wakanda salute no more. All right, stop taking it. But in general, I'd say that this episode is the nice little, where I say breather episode. You know, we've been kind of on the move for the first 3 episodes. So this is an episode we got a chance to kind of sit back and reflect on who we were and who we are. And I like the kind of narration from Hugh, overcut with all of the different people in the crew that were kind of just maintaining and trying to get through their day-to-day lives and trying to understand and make sense of what in the world is going on in these streets, what is happening to them, what is happening to, you know, you and I, me. Is it going to change? Will it ever change? Will I always feel this way? And, you know, it makes sense. We have a whole crew, tons of people that are kind of coming to grips with everyone that I ever knew is dead and gone. And probably not even a memory anymore because it's 938 years or whatever. So there's a lot of, I guess you could say, you know, kind of like held back pain, maybe remorse on some end and stuff like that people are dealing with. And you got Saru. This is the first time where we see it's kind of funny. Saru has no idea. It's like, well, maybe we should have them do more exercise. It's like, no, man. Hugh is like, that's not the issue. They're okay physically. You know what I'm saying? They ain't right mentally. And we find out throughout this episode, we're not the only people that aren't right mentally or physically aren't right mentally at this time, because we kind of get a chance to parallel with the Trill and what they've been going through since the burn and how they are running out of hosts. and how they have, kind of stuck to their guns, their ideals and that nature. So we're dealing with them, and going through their ills as well as going through the Discovery's ills and what they're dealing with. And then even seeing that the computer is tripping just a little bit. Yeah, we gonna get into that, Ram. Like, yo, man, that dinner, we gonna get into that. But I like Hugh really reaching out and being a large part of helping the crew and making I guess you could say making note and notice of people needing help beyond physicality. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes doctors will just be like, look, your body is 100%, cool, peace. And not really connecting the spiritual, the mental, the emotional component to us as people. You know what I'm saying? We are not just these hunks of clay that are pressed together, encapsulating bones. And I like that. I like how he spoke about accepting help. Because, there are times, even in real life, where maybe we're on the go so much, or we're so busy trying to accomplish a goal, or to prove somebody wrong, or to kind of like grasp or attain this, I guess you could say, arbitrary success that our society says that we're supposed to have. And we forget that we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to be alone. We can accept help, and accepting help is okay, whether it's help, physically, monetarily, emotionally, whatever it may be, trying to do something on your own all the time, or trying to prove that, I'm the best of the best and I'm okay and nothing's going to be wrong. That's something that has been, I guess, okay to use in the past because you were in the comfort of your time, knowing certain concrete things. Now we're in the future, and these concrete things that we knew of, like family, love, our place in the universe, things of that are gone. Things of that nature are gone, and being adrift with nothing but your nothing to hold on to, and nothing but your, I guess, sense of duty or sense of I have to make sure that no one sees me as weak, can be very, very damaging. And I like that they took time to talk about that. And I'll talk more about the ship and the crew before we get to Adira, because that's a whole nother thing. But the interesting moment where we saw that the computer and what may be the sphere data kind of, I guess, working together, working in tandem, because we heard two voices. And Saru was like, excuse me? Could you run that back to me a one more time? A one more again, if you will. So I am intrigued by this idea with the knowledge and the ability behind the sphere and the sphere's data, because at the time that we jumped, and correct me if I'm wrong, at the time that we jumped, the sphere had all of, pretty much the whole of the galactic knowledge at that time. Like, all of the, the knowledge from Vulcans, Cleons, whatever. It had just been like soaking up mad knowledge from all over the galaxy or universe or whatever. And it was just super duper smart and had all kinds of information. So, having the sphere data, because I forgot about the sphere data. I mean, I knew we were going to the future, but I completely forgot the sphere data being able to kind of act on its own. I completely forgot that. So now that it's here, it does open up my mind for possibilities of how much better does this make the ship? How does it help the crew? Beyond, because we've already seen, and we're going to talk about that in a second. How does it help Saru be an awesome, even better captain, because we could see how the sphere and the computer from the ship were already talking about, they need R&R. They need real rest. They need, they need time off. They need to be able to collect themselves, their thoughts, and they need to just be able to relax, relate, release. They need that time. They need a dinner. I do like that, Saru was open to the information and the suggestions from the sphere. I love that the sphere understands humans enough to know the kind of things they need, like the movie at the end, and the sphere kind of coming through and knowing that sometimes laughter and just a communal experience of togetherness and happiness is what we need. To a situation kind of like at the end where Hugh was like, maybe we're not better now, but we will be better because of moments like this. So speaking of moments like that, Saru's dinner, boy, woo, it had some spice. Had spice for dinner. I love that Giorgio is not, Giorgio like, psh, I ain't said nothing. I just showed up. Everybody's like, I. Michelle, you're like, yeah, I'm here and all, but whatever. So I thought that was cool. She holds that down to the very end. But I like that Saru tries, man. He tries, and we got into it in a good way, in a cathartic way. Sometimes you need that kind of confrontation, not combative, but just confrontation, to be able to air things out, to be able to open things up. And we could see that there were some deep-seated issues with Stamets, with his interaction with Tilly, where basically we're seeing him essentially just like standoffish, biting her head off, all kinds of things, being short with her. Like, she doesn't even know what she's doing. Tilly's smart. At least give her an opportunity, but he does have this kind of, I'm gonna do it on my own. And I made a note of the statement. Hugh said it to Michael Burnham, responsibility hoarder. And it is one of those things where you kind of like, this is your thing and you don't want anyone to take it from you. And maybe since you've made it so much your thing, now you believe that you can't be any more than that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's the case, man. Stamets, you still come through with stuff. We still got love for you. And having the know-how and the ability to be self-aware enough to say, you know what, I'm tripping. He's not all the way there yet. But you know who's going to help him get there? Detmer. So back to that spice. We at dinner. We chilling. Everybody getting their eat on. Everybody having a good time. Wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting their chew on. Spitting haikus to folks. You know what I'm saying? Giorgio kicks it with the haiku. Then everybody else coming kicking it with a haiku. Detmer starts up. All of a sudden, she's talking about Stamets. Stamets fires back. And Detmer does make a good point. She's like, you up in here. I fly this ship all the time. And you come up in here so you can have your little hero moment. And you think that you see yourself as above other people and this, that, and the third. And he kind of does. You know what I'm saying? She called him on it and he kind of does. And then I also see where Tilly was coming in and be like, look, all of us, right now, things is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let's not go crazy on one another. But Stamets did kind of deserve that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he be bugging. And even at the table, you see him and Tilly kind of having their nonverbal thing, even where he was like, yo, what's going on with y'all? Like, so Stamets, look, man, when you're at the source of problems for multiple people, maybe it's you. But I like that. I like that they went at it and they were able to confront each other without being combative, without, being able to like, look, yo, you on your high horse and you need to come back up off that joint. Because I'm doing work just like you are. Everybody's working just as hard as you are. Just because you're the magical spore man doesn't mean that our work is inconsequential. And he even tried to kind of like backhand comment her when she talked about like, I've been flying the ship, and he was like, yo, when he made that comment about her wrecking it or whatever, and I can't remember exactly how he said it, but dude was just wrong. He was just wrong in this case. Like, he was just straight up wrong. And I'm glad Detmer kind of leveled him out a little bit, bring it down. And then also that she brought him down in front of the rest of the crew. The only one that wasn't in there was the engineer. The new engineer wasn't there. Was it Jet? What's her last name? Jet? Whoever the engineer is, and I love her, and I cannot remember her name right now. I feel like it's Jet, but I know it's not Jet. But you'll correct me. Y'all let me know in the comments. So I really enjoy how they were able to show the dynamics of what has become a family and where they were able, Reno, thank you. Is it Jet Reno? Reno Jet Reno? I feel like something with a Jet or a J or Jackie or so. Maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like it's something with a J. But the wonderful part, and Tilly said, she was like, look, this is a regular Tuesday at my house. I wonder why she wasn't there. She's a fan favorite. Yeah, I love her too. So I do like how they handled that in a way where you see their closeness, you see the love and togetherness they share for one another, but then you also see, when you love people, sometimes they get on your nerves, you know what I'm saying? Like they say on Proud Family, you know what I'm saying? They'll push your buttons and make you want to hug them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jet Reno. So I was right. Jet. Thank you. Jet, Jeggity Jet. So yes, they'll push your buttons, but make you want to hug them. Family, proud family. But anyway, slide that to the side. I loved how we got a chance to slow down and just deal with how the crew is going to move forward as a unit and who they will be and how they're healing. Because, we had 3 episodes of like go, 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 rah, rah, rah action. So sooner or later, this kind of trauma had to come to bear because they haven't really had a chance to sit down and say, everything's crazy, right? So with that said, I want to slide over to Michael Burnham and Adira. All right, so I'll say this, because last episode, I was wondering if she was going to get on my nerves, and the jury's still sort of out on it, but I didn't mind hanging out with her this episode. She wasn't annoying to me like Tilly was when she first showed up. Would I rather have had a mission without her? Yes. But what we learned once again through the Trill and her interaction with them shows a lot about their culture and where they've gone. Before we leave the ship, they're like, yo, Trill, happy and safe and non-violent or whatever, should be cool. When they show up, they're met with weapons. So things have changed. Then we see this whole inner dialogue, or I guess intra-Trill dialogue about whether she should be allowed to stay or not, whether she should be allowed in the mystical waters and the special cave and all of these things. And we find out where what is it? Burnham is like, yo, man, look, you can't fire on her. You know, she's a human being or whatever. Her life is important. And they quickly told her, look, we ain't part of the Federation. So Trill Law or whatever, shouts to Trill League and the homie, but Trill Law right now takes precedence over whatever you want. And you can take your butt back to the ship. So I did like that. It showed that, you know, humans aren't the only ones hampered by doctrine foolishness. This should hashtag that, doctrine foolishness. They're on a small tangent. There's so much doctrine that is just there because man said so, that has nothing to do with God's word at all, that hinders us from moving forward spiritually. If you're that type of person, if you're not, understood, just close your ears for this part. But if you are, man, that doctrine will get you messed up so fast. You about to throw away your future. And this girl, they said, we didn't even know you can host with people with non-trill people. This could be the future of our species. But because of doctrine, you want to say, nah, we'll just die. We'll just die. The trill just die off. We just going to swim up in the waters for the rest of our lives. Are you kidding me? So you rather die than allow your species to continue on, your planet to be, I don't know, plentiful or whatever with hosts for all the trill people or the trill squiddy thingies. All right. Wow. Crazy. So doctrine, and I mean, people buy into and they live in doctrine, and don't get me wrong, some doctrine I understand why it exists or why it existed when it existed. But we should always, no different than your cell phone, always update, upgrade, or be open to having a conversation about your current doctrine and whether your current doctrine is correct for you, correct for the times, and is it actually in line with what the doctrine is supposed to represent. I'll leave it alone. I'll let it go after that. So they so stupid. They trying to leave. They planned. They wasn't going to let them leave. They was going to kill that girl. They was going to force separation to kill that girl. Because, you know, Michael Burnham, they walking. Michael Burnham was like, this ain't the way back to our ship. He was like, look, keep the burner close. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Arcatron. Got to be like, kayak. You know what I'm saying? Never catch you sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Little keep the blow off the burner kind of dusty. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, little chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? She was ready. She was like, yo, look, when we came here, we passed the big tree and came around the rose bush. We ain't going back that way. And unless they want to give us a tour, we walk into a trap. But I got you, because I keep the burner close. You know what I'm saying? She was like, they tried the dumb stuff. They came up with the cool biting staff. And what she do? Back up. Look. And then old boy was like, I don't care. I ain't going to help you. She was like, all right, Pop, this is a much different Burnham. Much different Burnham. Burnham ain't playing that mess. She ain't playing that mess. You think, all right, I've been in the future on my own. No, okay. Let's take it from the beginning. I was already super sweet, all right? So now I done went to an alternate reality. I done came back. I done fought a super duper smart computer, and I done went to the future. Now I done went to the future. I done survived in a future life for a year. You think this whole walk the different way back to the ship is gonna fool me? Bruh. Nah, son. We ain't rolling like that. You about to take a L. And there was 3 L's to be had. Could have been 4, but luckily the brother in the red outfit or whatever, he had the red shirt or he had that like conditional cotton or whatever. And he was smart enough to be like, look, doctrine or not, bottom line is we dying and there ain't enough of us. and we need something. And you represent something that could help us. So we're going to go to the caves. Which is, once again, a beautiful example, like we said about doctrine and how like people will be willing to let it ruin them. But the cave, which is something that I thought was cool, is and Ram, you're right, they didn't even listen. The cave is something that I thought was cool because I like how they represented the mind and the tethers to the memory. And I like how they handled Adira in that space, kind of reconnecting with her kind of lost memories, her trauma, things of that nature. I think it was handled pretty well. And even though you could see it was done on a very kind of, in a limited way, I think the way she acted along with the new actress that they had as her girlfriend, the past tall, and the new is the past tall that died or whatever. I thought it was cool. It really helped illustrate why she did not want to remember. And then, making the little quilt and stuff, I was like, okay, cool, I see. And then her having to reopen that gift and kind of like reopen that trauma to be able to deal with it and to be able to confront it and know that, yes, this is a part of you. It has to connect to me. I can't shut it off. And the idea is not that you should shut it off, but that it should be part of you and you should use it in a loving way and look upon it fondly, and the time that you spent with this person and that is now sort of a part of you, kind of. So I was dope. I thought it was weird that you dated someone that looked just like you. I was like, I got the same style. Like, y'all ain't dating the same person. No, it's weird. But I liked it. I like how she had to deal with that and how you see the fear in her eyes of like wanting to, kind of like, I don't want this. And then slowly reconnecting with those moments. I think it's something that we needed for this show, for the crew to go on. It's something that we needed for Adira to go on. And I think it makes Adira a better person. One thing I do not like this. The whole ghost thing of them being there. Nah, I don't like, regardless of the show, I don't like that. Either you're here or you're not. This whole kind of, I don't know. Because now, all right, so what you're going to tell me is, and then when she asks, like, why are you here? Why no one else? So nobody else is going to be able to be here. So just she's here and just, it's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, I know it was her first love or her long lost love or whatever, but it's like, I would like it better if it was a situation where maybe like in Black Panther where you have to go to an ancestral plane, or maybe Avatar where you have to do something, but her just kicking it and chilling, y'all playing the cello or whatever. I don't know, it's a big bass or something, a big violin, viola. I don't know those things. I know it's just like a, whatever it is, y'all correct me in the chat, where it's like a big stand-up bass, but it's a violin, and be like, that thing. So whatever that is, that's what she was using. But I don't know. I've never been a fan of the, like, you're walking around and that person's there, but no one else can see it. I kind of tolerate it in Umbrella Academy, but I'm glad finally that that's over. And hopefully I'm not spoiling. Bring Umbrella Academy season 2 been over. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. It's on Netflix. Anybody can watch it. So it's not a spoiler. I don't care. I kind of deal with it. I kind of dealt with it in that, but I didn't even really like it in that. Somewhere else they did it, I didn't like. Lucifer. Oh wait, I mean, I guess Lucifer sort of makes sense because he is, he's a demon or an angel. He's an angel, but anyway, bottom line is that whole part of, Lucifer being in Sam's mind on Supernatural, I guess I kind of get it, but I didn't like it there either. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if they were to handle it in a way where she could hear her voices in times of memories of statements and from her that are encouraging in times of need. I'd like that. Because she makes a statement to Burnham, like, say something. She says something to the extent of like, say something encouraging but not cheesy or whatever. And maybe in the moments, in like episode 5, 8, whatever, in moments where she's up against something hard, maybe hearing her not ex-girlfriend, is she an ex-girlfriend? Because they never broke up. She died. All right, that's a tangent, and I apologize. But I think it's still ex-girl. I think you can still consider that. Yeah, sorry. For anyone, and that's not to be insensitive. I just thought about that. I don't know if it's an ex-girlfriend. I think you call her an ex-girlfriend. But anyway, maybe if she heard her voice in times of need, in times of adversity, and maybe like a some words of encouragement or phrasing, and she kind of recalled on moments where it seems like she's talking to her, but she's technically remembering times that they had talked together in the past. Maybe I'd be down for that. But her showing up and no one else can see her, but then none of the other people are showing up. I'm like, come on, bruh. Gotta make it make sense for a brother. Like, either A, she don't show up, or B, they can all show up. Now it's just the special one shows up. Now I know somebody would say in Avatar, usually only what's the boy name? Dag, it wasn't Iroh. Whatever the Fire Lord would show up usually to Aang. But Aang did also speak to other people, and it wasn't like they were not able to be contacted, I guess. But in this situation, it seems like it's just her, and I'm like, I feel like y'all are just trying to make this happen, and this is a problem because we just got her past the trauma, but her showing up in this kind of way stunts her growth. Have her meet someone new and have a new relationship, but holding on to that old thing, and then she need to move on. All right, she gone. She did. You need find you someone new, boo. Find you someone new. But all in all, I enjoyed this show. I enjoyed this episode where we got to deal with what's ailing the crew, and sometimes ailing us in real life. Responsibility hoarders, being able to accept help. Being able to have a confrontation and not being afraid of confrontation, and actually setting the stage for confrontation without being combative. You know what I'm saying? You can be like, yo, what you did was whack and it was wrong, and I want an apology or whatever, without, jump kicking somebody. And then also being able to kind of open up yourself to connect with your memories that matter, even though those memories that matter end in something that may be traumatic. Because you shutting off the memory of the death was also you shutting off the memory of an amazing relationship. Relationship so good you made a quilt. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife. I have never made a quilt, man. Maybe I had to start knitting. I don't know. It'd probably be the worst quilt you ever seen, but it would be a quilt. Maybe I could buy a quilt and just like draw something on it. Anyway, point is, I dug the episode. For the most part, we got to deal with a lot of stuff. The meat of like who these people are and what they're dealing with. I did not like the fact that the girl is staying. Either A, they all stay, or B, none of them stay. I don't know. I just don't like that in general. I just don't like the invisible spiritual person that's just hanging out with the cat. Just like Happy. Happy is a show that's kind of entertaining. I dug the first season. Season 2 I kind of fell off on, but Happy is another show where it's like, you got the imaginary friend, and I don't know, it kind of wears on me after a while. So that's just something that I don't personally like from no matter what show it is. And I gave you guys 3 examples, but other shows do it, and I don't like it. But I would be down for her voice as a word of encouragement whenever she's down, or whether maybe when she's lonely or something like that, or maybe when she's up against adversity and she feels scared. Because that's something that I do enjoy that I get from, like, Star Wars. They'll do that. Like, sometimes you'll hear Obi-Wan's voice or something like that, or Yoda's voice. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when they show up as Force Ghosts, I kind of, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but at the same time, everyone can show up. It's not just like one person that shows up. So they get half a point for that. But guys, with that said, that's it. Those are my thoughts, man. I think I exercised the demons. Shouts out to NRAM said, I'm going to rewatch that Trill episode where Dax saw all of the previous ones. Yeah. I forgot that. Yeah. Shouts to Dax. Shouts to Dax doing her thing. Yeah. Good point on that one. So with that said, guys, of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Thanks for rolling through. This is YouTube, where it's the hub. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send the trail after you. All right? And all they're going to tell you is that you can't get in no caves, and you sure enough can't take a dip in the water. All right? With that said, podcast to get your listen on Spotify for music. I got some new music coming with Arcatron, and you know his beats are tight because I'm about to leave you with one of them right now. So thank you for watching. Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to the lurkers in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I see y'all numbers, so I see the lurkers. There's some lurkers around. But to NRAM, thank you for coming through. As always, see y'all next week for something that crazy that happens, because the preview, it looked like we are going to be seeing some Federation remnants, and we'll see how they feel when all this is done, because it looks like we go on a whole new mission, and this mission that we start next episode might be the kind of mission of the season. So with that said, of course, holler at me, I'm going to holler at you. Down in them comments, let's talk. And from me to you, I'm leaving you in the great hands of Arcatron. That's ARCKATRON.com. And until next time, listen to them beats and peace. Man. Woo, next week, that Federation better not be acting stupid, because I swear to God. I'm going to say, do you know that we came 930 years to save your butt? You the one that's blowing up with all the beryllium or dilithium, whatever you doing, you did it wrong. And now we got to save you. So you best to be acting right. Anyway, we out. Peace.